meetup with a numerologist, and the numerologist was saying the number 3 is going to be very significant next year because of 2013, the last digit of the year, and in that number 3 is about gay people and how gay people next year will be coming to the forefront. And so it's another year where a group of people will be starting to gain civil rights. That's the prediction from a numerologist. Not my prediction; it's just the prediction of a numerologist. So it's interesting, and we're going to be asking Kaye a little bit later about what her predictions would be for 2013, and I know that she'll have some interesting things to say. Now, it's like I say, there's so many similarities between 1912 and 2012. One other thing that has some correlation, this to me at least, is the fact that the Titanic, when it went down in 1912, in April of 1912, it was a technological marvel, and it was dubbed to be unsinkable. And it was really the pride and joy of that generation. Look what man has accomplished. Look at that boat that we can put on the water, on the seas, and we can take large numbers of people across the Atlantic. And they were trying to do it in what they felt was record time at that particular point. And these days, when we look at technology is going ever and ever faster and ever making us a closer society. And that's what the Titanic tried to do. It tried to bring the world together a little bit closer, a little bit. It was kind of the start of this idea that we had we had to get together closer. Europe and the United States had to be something that was easy to do. Now, the thing about it is, when the Titanic went down, there was a loss of innocence. There was a real sense of pain that everyone felt. And we have felt that this year with the Batman shooting in Aurora, Colorado, and then the Newtown massacre in Connecticut. This loss of innocence has struck society again. And the aftermath of Titanic was a whole slew of new regulations to foster in a new age. And we will probably see attempts to bring in more regulations in the future. And on guns and other things, we're becoming more aware. We become more and more aware of our vulnerabilities. And so there was a certain loss of innocence in 1912 that the world felt with the loss of Titanic. And once again, here in 2012, we have felt that sense of vulnerability, that sense of innocence that was lost. And so I thought that the last night of 2012 would be a good time to reminisce not just over the past year, but maybe 100 years ago, because it was such a there's significant parallels to that particular year. There was the Olympics and so on and so forth. But it's just it's interesting to look at the past, look at where you are, and see how both of them work together to create the future. And I always find that that's very interesting. Now, another thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to just mention that the year 2012, if you want to start to look at 2012 or 2013 from maybe a metaphysical or a different point of view than just saying, oh, it's a new year. Even though we are falling off the fiscal cliff, it's just reported now that they're not going to go to vote on anything. So they're going to let that happen, and it's always interesting when the mainstream does something like that, and then the mainstream thinks people like me and people who believe in paranormal things as crazy. They think we're crazy. So, we see that there is a lot of dysfunction in other places as well, or in places that you wouldn't expect or hope that you wouldn't expect, and then you realize that people that are in the psychic field and believe in those that believe in the paranormal and who are true people that investigate UFOs are really very grounded. I was listening to the show previous to me, and a lot of good conversation there about extraterrestrials and what their evidence was and how they do investigations are. So I wanted to just give you some information about 2013 from a numerology standpoint. And 2013 resonates as a 6. And now 1/1/2013 will resonate as an 8. But the number 6 is a significant number in that it is going to help calm things down from the previous year. 2012 is a 5. 2012 being a 5. 5 is the year of chaos. It's the year of change. It's the year of transformation. And so many of us have been going through a transformation this year. And even this recent election was a transformational election in our country. The pundits are saying that society in the United States is undergoing some fundamental changes in values and perceptions. And transformation isn't good or bad. It's just what it is. But in the next year is the year of responsibility. It's the year when you start looking at things in such a way that you have got to absorb what has happened, and you've got to start to work things out with this new normal. And this new normal that we're experiencing is something that we're learning to navigate within. Things don't work the way they used to work. People that are in marketing know that old-time marketing doesn't work. Newspapers are going by the wayside. Things that used to be commonplace are no longer there. The internet has changed so many things. Social media has changed things. So we're going into a different vibration, and this different vibration will help with things like reconciliation, intellectual creativity, imagination, union, love, perfection. These are things that are going to be emphasized. And if you go to a numerology website, you'll be able to look and see what the number 6 relates to. Now, if you have a birthday coming up real soon, well, when you have a birthday, you can figure what your personal year is going to be by taking the numbers of your birthday, let's say 1/1/2013. So you have 1 plus 1 plus 2013 plus 6 is 8. That is the personal year. And the personal year of an 8 is a grand year. It's a year of good fortune. It's a year of money, of a growing economy. And it's a year when we should start to see things change for the better. Whereas the last year, not only was it a 5, but it was also a 7, which was a year of introspection, a year of kind of internalizing things or growth, internal growth, that transformation that I was talking about being internalized, and more of a spiritual type of year, that idealism. This year, things get into action. Things start to move a little bit more, and so that's what we want to emphasize. Now, as far as the number 6 is concerned with relating to different planets, it relates to the planets of Venus and Uranus, and it relates to the lovers and tarot cards. It relates to the day Friday, and it relates to the color indigo. So these are the beginnings of what we should start to look at for as far as the vibrations of the next year, and just a couple of more just a couple of more hours here that we have to go in 2012. We can already start looking to the future, let go of the past, and start looking forward to a new way of doing things. Now, we're going to take a little break here in just a couple of minutes, but I do also want to do just a little shout out, if you don't mind. I'm going to do a shout out to the people at Balboa Press and Hay House. They are listening tonight. And if you don't know who Hay House is a metaphysical book publisher, and they publish books for people like Wayne Dyer and Doreen Virtue and other popular speakers today. And they have conferences all around the world, and these conferences are called the I Can Do It Conference. And as I was telling you, we are in Texas. We're in the North Texas area, and then soon they're going to be having an I Can Do It conference in our state, and they're going to be having it in Austin, Texas. And I'm delighted to say that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there doing a book signing. So I encourage you to go to one of the I Can Do It conferences, because it's all about self-help. It's all about personal growth. And when you're not working on ghost hunting or something, you can join us at one of the I Can Do It conferences. So I'm delighted to just say welcome to that group of people that's listening tonight. So thank you for being with us. Now we are going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Kaye Coffey, and it's like I say, Kaye is an astrologer from the North Texas area, and we'll have her tell us a little bit about herself, and we'll have her join her information. Okay. So now, if you want to contact me, you can go to my website. I'm at johncappello.com, and I do have a new book out, Open the Mind, Exercise the Soul. I also have meetups of my own. We're going to be having some exciting meetups coming up very soon. So, all right. Okay, now we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, well, we're back here on the Epic Voyages radio program on the Inception Radio Network. I'm your guest host tonight. My name is John Cappello. I'm a psychic medium from the North Texas area. Today is that wonderful day we always look forward to, 12/31, when we are in great anticipation of the new year. And I'm delighted to have you as a listener this evening. And if you're downloading this, thank you very much. We appreciate that as well. Now, tonight we're talking a little bit about the year that is just passing away, 2012, and all the wonderful things that were supposed to happen, and some not so wonderful. But one of the things I wanted to do tonight was get some other people's perspectives, and I wanted to get the perspective of 2012 from an astrologer. And one of the things that we had been hearing a lot about during this year is the appearance of a planet by the name of Nibiru. Now, Nibiru has been predicted to make its appearance for a long, long time, but it was supposed to finally appear on December 21st, and it didn't. And I have to be honest, I didn't know a lot about this planet and about predictions about it. So I asked an expert. I asked someone to let me know a little bit more about this planet. It's also called Planet X. And so I have with me tonight an astrologer friend of mine. Her name is Kaye Coffey. She is also here in the North Texas area. She's a member of the North Texas Astrological Association, and I'm delighted to have her here tonight. Kaye, are you there?
I'm here, John.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all of our guests. I hope I mentioned that at the top of the hour. I am delighted that you're here tonight. I know you must be taking time away from your New Year's Eve festivities, but I do appreciate you being here. So
I'm enjoying it.
Well, good. Well, thank you. Well, Kaye, can you tell us a little bit about your work as an astrologer so that our audience can know a little bit about your background?
Oh, yeah. I've been an astrologer for about 30 years, and I've just had the great fortune to study under what we consider masters, and it just speaks to you, and it speaks to me. I mean, other things like you were talking about numerology earlier, and I haven't a very slight clue about that, but when you pick up a chart, it just talks to you. So I've been doing private readings for, I would say, about 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I know I love astrology as well, and it's just kind of
Right.
infectious, and so it's a lot of fun to talk about the different aspects, and so that kind of brings me to our topic tonight about this planet Nibiru, and I was wondering, can you tell us a little bit about that planet and what it stands for, and